Welcome to the Duck and Banana Show, the only podcast brave enough to say what everyone's thinking but too scared to admit. I'm your host, Vet Duck, and alongside me is my co-host, Banana. He's coming, I promise. And today, in the biggest scam in human history, Finland does not exist. That's right, that weird rectangle-looking thing between Sweden and Russia, fake. Open ocean, a giant blue lie drawn by a hungover cartographer in 1947. The so-called Finns, not people, just tall, sad Swedes who got lost on a ferry one night, angry Russians who wandered too far west, and a bunch of Estonians who were told, "Congrats, you live in Finland now," and never questioned it because, well, free saunas. Can't blame them. And the masterminds behind it all, you ask? Japan and the Soviets. Who else? Who else would it be? Back in the Cold War, Japan wanted to fish the best herring spots in the Baltic without anyone complaining. Who would do that? I wonder. I wonder. Solution: invent a whole country, call it Finland, literally Finland, as in fish fins. Genius idea. Every Nokia phone you've ever owned in the 2000s, not technology, just a Baltic herring with a tiny antenna glued on and shipped in a box labeled Made in Helsinki. That's right. That's why the brand Nokia blew up and mysteriously died. Japan ran out of fish, supply chain collapsed, and boom. Don't get me started on the evidence that they spoon feed you. Happiest country on earth every year? Zero PPO, zero depresso, zero crime, ghosts don't rob banks. That's right, people. Santa's workshop in Rovanium, just a Swedish IKEA with fake snow and a guy in a red suit who got lost during a Black Friday event. Moomins, Japanese cartoon propaganda to make kids go, "Ah, cartoon is so cute." So we don't question the giant fishing net in the sky. I mean, sea. I opened up Google Maps, and when I zoomed in on Finland, the pixels turned into little fishes. I swear on my last can, it bucked up. Tonight, my friends, we dismantle the lie, we expose the fish, and we free the herring. That's right. Buckle up, sheepo. Your map is lying to you. Your Finnish friend is lying to you, probably because he's a salmon in a human suit. And now that Big Brother has moved on because I'm with no interest in seeing batshit crazy, let's get into it. This is the Duck and Banana Show.
Uh, oh, is that stuff you just got?
It is, with our new little ducky cup.
Oh, nice. How was it?
It's pretty good, smooth.
All right, good. All right, we can take this off now. God, that was hot.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad.
So I don't know anything. I've never heard the conspiracy that Finland was a fake place until you told me about it. So you're going to be leading most of this, and I've got a few things that I found
I got two.
interesting. But you lead the way, and I will put on what I figured, or well, not figured out, but researched on my own. But from looking at it, this isn't a new by any means conspiracy theory. So it's new
No,
to me.
it's not.
But lead it off. The Nokia phone things. The only thing is, I had a Nokia phone.
Yeah,
And
no, I don't want to.
it was a boost phone, and it was the one that you could do the chirp on and like walkie-talkie and talk to people. Those were Nokias, weren't
All
they?
right. Yeah, basically the brick that like a car
Yeah,
can run over and it still works.
yeah, yeah. I definitely in the early 2000s had a Nokia phone, but when I see the thing about the when you said the thing about the fish in boxes and being exported as sushi grade, that's actually sushi grade fish and not phones. That's really
Yeah.
interesting because you don't hear of any other country running around with Nokia phones.
No. And like the biggest thing too about it as so Nokia was made in Japan
Mhm.
and like nobody in Japan has a Nokia.
Well, no, they've
So don't
got.
you find that a little bit strange?
Well, don't they not really use iPhones either?
I haven't looked into that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I thought I saw something that like we're the only country that actually mass buys iPhones. But
I mean that would make sense because like Samsung is
mhm.
Japanese, so they probably use Samsung.
Well, yeah, but there's also phones that we're
So like you
not.
have that. So like Samsung's made in Japan. The Japanese use Samsung, and then you turn around with this. Nokia was made by Japan, and like nobody in Japan used the Nokia.
That is true. That is really true. But how in your intro where you said that the Japanese and the Russians kind of collaborated together to make this area so they could fish those seas. That's the part that gets me. That's like, wow, this might actually be a real thing. Because if you asked me to point out Finland on a map, I would not know where to even start. I'd know to look somewhere around Europe, but if it wasn't labeled, I wouldn't be able to find it.
Right. Well, like you got to think too. Like when was the year that like Finland was created? 1947. So like not
Mm,
that long after World War II.
yeah,
Like that's like the prime age to like say, yo, we're gonna make a country right here because we just got our asses bombed. We don't want to screw off with the Soviets. There's a lot of fish here. Let's just take it for ourselves. And what are we gonna do so nobody else comes in this area? Let's paint a giant fucking like location right here and say, oh, there's land here. There ain't fish, it's land. And then
well,
you and Russia get all the spoils.
I mean, could be. It could be bluffing like we did during the what was it, the Cold War. How there's those theories that we didn't actually go to the moon, that we bluffed going to the moon to bankrupt the Soviet Union, and they've never really recovered from that. So it's plausible that it was done, but I've never been to Finland.
Exactly.
No, I can't think of what the Finnish flag looks like, but I swear that I've heard of Finnish because I watch a lot of competitive gaming, and there's a guy I follow who casts all different kinds of games, and they're always talking about the Finnish and the Swedish teams being top of the line and stuff. But I could not tell you what the Finnish flag looks like.
So
Like
it
even
it's
Swedish.
it's white with like so it's basically it's an all white flag, and then in the corner here, there's like a blue line and a blue line coming here, so it looks like a blue cross.
I could just Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I well, what's the one that's close to that with red? Is that Sweden? Oh no, they're blue and yellow, but it's like the same design, just blue and yellow. So okay, so there's no way because I'm not like denying the fact that I'm stupid and I don't know geography at all. I have a general idea where stuff is, but I would have never have thought that Finland's right there between Russia and Sweden. Norway's on the outskirts of it. My wife's from Poland. Where's your little country? Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there you are. There you are, right down there. All right. Tell me more about why this is a conspiracy.
Mhm. Well, like some of the other ones that just make it kind of like hard to concept is visible Lapland. They actually have more saunas than cars, so it's 3 million saunas for 5.6 million people.
Well,
So you're
that's
saying
kind
you have more saunas in your country than you do cars. Um, and then there's the um, Finland won Eurovision twice with Lordi, Monsters, and Blind Channel, which Lordi and Blind Channel are two prominent Finnish rock bands that have made significant contributions to the music scene.
well, wait,
However,
hymns
so they
from Finland. Hymns from Finland. Remember the Bam Margera show? Uh
yeah,
Bam Rock, what was it? Rock of Bam Bam. Not, it wasn't Jackass, and it wasn't the show that, or maybe it was a show that Bam Margera did. Um they are from, is a Finnish rock band. We might be dead in the water
yeah, they're
here.
well, and what they're saying though is like it's not Finnish, it's Swedish. They're a bunch of
well,
Swedes who are confused and have been
well,
told, that they're Finnish, but they're not.
isn't that the kind of along the same line as with Greenland?
A little bit.
Yeah,
But the
a
one
mix.
that they're saying for Finland is that basically you get on a ferry in Sweden, it takes you out, it turns around, basically makes like a giant U-turn, drops you off on the other side, and then you get off and it's welcome to Finland, and the accents like Swedish and Russian kind of just like mixed together. It sound like something else.
Oh, I mean, if you take people far enough away where they can't see land, you drive a couple or you boat around in a few circles, give them a few drinks, and you just land on the other side of a small island, you could completely tell them it's a whole different place.
Exactly. And like with the with with this band winning Eurovision twice, like they won in 2016, okay? And then all the bands that come out of Finland, this is the only band that's entered this contest. Like
Well,
come on.
isn't it like a niche kind? Well, I know it's niche to us, but it's, I know it's big in Europe and everywhere else but here. But isn't it like kind of like American Idol, but just for bands where countries come up with a new original song and they compete to figure out who has the best new song? Isn't that what that is?
No, I'm actually not sure. Eurovision.
Yeah, because we have like American Idol here, but we don't have anything like the Eurovision. Where's my plug?
It's just a song competition.
Yeah, so well, that makes sense. Like, if you're really making money and you're banned out of Finland, I would tour and not worry about a competition show in Europe like American Idol. If people are listening to you, and especially if, from what I can see or hear, they were a big part of that scene during like Jackass and Bam Show or them. I don't know if it's American band, but do you remember the Guar band where the guys dressed up like monsters? I don't think that's American. Hold on. Their
Probably
singer
not.
recently died. Oh yeah, they're American heavy metal band formed in Richmond, Virginia. You know what? I think that we might have nothing going for Finland. I think this might just be I've been up for too many days, partaking in too many substances kind of theory.
Maybe, but
It's fun. It's fun to think about because I asked my grandpa because he goes to Scotland, he goes to Iceland, he goes
yeah, that's
to
what I'm gonna bring up.
Norway and stuff like that. To I don't know if he fishes. He does something with his group of buddies, but
Yeah.
um, I've never heard of. I asked him, "Have you ever been to Finland?" He's like, "Nope, couldn't tell you where it's at." But I think we pivot because I have some very, very interesting information that I'm sure everyone has seen or heard about. It's still a little conspiracy based, kind of, if you think about like what they're doing in Hollywood and stuff like that. But do you want to head towards that?
Sure, if you want to. Because I mean, I got other things on here. It's mostly like with the map and stuff like that. Like,
Well, no,
sca-
keep going with what you have, and then we'll finish it out, and then maybe do a second half of the podcast with a different idea. It's just when I was doing my notes and stuff, I forgot to send it to you. I just kept finding more of the same, and not like different takes or anything. It was just like more of the same stuff being re-reported. So I didn't have like you pretty much killed everything I had in my notes, the little bit I had in your info or in your intro. That was like everything
right,
I had on my end because I didn't know anything about the subject. So I was like, oh well shit. As soon as you started talking, I was like, all right, well, you lead the way, and then maybe we can pivot at the end to something else and I can put something in there. But I had no idea about the topic. But no, keep going on what you have already.
all right. Well, just like if you like zoom in on so like Scandinavia stops at Sweden and Norway,
Okay.
and pretty much Finland's just CGI. So like when you zoom in on Finland on Google Maps, the pixels start to glitch, or you have like that redacted area. Like if it's like if you're trying to zoom in really close on like certain parts of military installations. Um,
All right, let me go. I'm off. Hold on. Um, okay, and then we'll switch it over to satellite. What area were you looking at?
just zoom in like as far as it'll let you zoom in.
You know what's really weird? I when you zoom out and you see Finland, and it gives you like if you look at any other country, it'll give you like the broad strokes of main cities, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you look at Finland, zoomed out the most and starting to zoom in, I can't see Helsinki at all. Oh, it's down here at the
Right.
bottom. On the initial glide over, it doesn't pop up. Like you go to Finland, you pop down a little bit, and it's Inari, Romanaveni, Oulu, Tampere, Turku, and then you go in one or two more clicks, then Helsinki pops up. But there are so many small looking like cities in here, or I don't know if they're states
Mhm.
or, and I couldn't tell you one of them.
Right. But so then like you have back to the sauna thing, like why do you need that many saunas then? If like your area where, you know, your architectural construction and everything like that is so small. Um,
Okay, so when you're talking about saunas, are you talking about like medical spa or like spas, or are you talking about people who
yeah,
have
like a sauna,
private
you know, like a
sauna,
steam room.
like a steam room? So like gyms, maybe health centers,
I don't know, all the information I got from it was just sauna.
saunas. Okay,
Um,
I'm pretty sure that
or like
sauna
the
means something completely different to sauna to them. So
maybe. Or like witness testimonies being fake interviews like I flew to Helsinki but landed in Estonia.
hold on, I'm looking at this. Okay, so saunas they refer to as European bathhouses, and they can be shared areas. But like you said, if they don't have the like car ratio to get there, it seems like a pretty big country that like you'd have to drive to go wherever you wanted. Are you taking into it like, and the more I zoom in, there's more and more and more small looking cities.
Right,
So,
that's what I'm getting at. And then there's also, since like we're on the Google Maps right now, there's also the big one too, which is a little bit harder to like disprove, and it's actually easier to prove. So prior to 1947, Finland isn't on any of those maps. But after 1947, now Finland is on the maps. But prior to, there is no Finland. It's like older maps, Finland does not exist.
well,
After like 1947, now it's there.
and people are obviously living in Finland well before then. Was it
So,
not recognized on just U.S. maps? Because I mean,
like,
America is a few hundred years old. You can't tell me that just our maps are like the defining, like this is what was here, this is what wasn't. I mean, I
no,
love
apparently
America.
it's like worldwide. So like if you look on like a world atlas from like Germany or from like Russia, one from Japan, so like the countries like we're naming here, it's not on any of their maps prior to 1947 either. It's only after 1947.
Really, I could see it, and it started to make more sense. But why wouldn't Sweden or Norway say anything if it was like just dead land that they were naming something else in the name of like commercial fishing?
Right, and that doesn't make sense about it.
Yeah.
It's like okay, so but at the same time though, if like those two countries, maybe they're benefiting some way to like keep it going.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can somehow make a shell country and control a waterway, and
The same way America tries to control oil.
well, I mean, the same way any country tries to do anything for their favor. But if you're going to take a dead piece of land, rope it off, say it's this, it's a country, but it's really ran by this other country. Sweden and Norway, I mean, Norway alone takes up more oceanfront space. You don't think they would say something about it? Because from Finland, you'd have to like basically bow it out from inland Helsinki through Denmark, and it seems like there's a small pass through Denmark that there's no way that you're getting commercial level fish through Copenhagen, and I won't even try to butcher the name of this other place, but there's no way you're getting it through there unless it's under the label of phones. And I'm not going to put it past people to look the other way when phone cases smell like fish as long as you're getting paid enough.
Exactly.
So I could see it. I could see it if they weren't the inland nation. Is fish that much of a
Right.
benefit
But
unless you're selling to the Chinese
think,
market?
well, think of it this way, okay? So it's supposed to be Japan and Russia pretty much working together, okay? So what if the two neighboring countries to Finland, what if they're like, hey, we're gonna blow, like we're gonna blow the lid on this and let everybody know like you guys are scamming people, lying, whatever, and then the Russian and Japanese government come together and they're like, hey, tell you what, keep your mouth shut. And one, will allow tourists to come to your country and you take them out several miles out into the ocean so you can't see land anymore. Turn around. So we're going to up your tourist levels in your own country, disguising, your country as a part of Finland, but you never really take them like into it. It's just like, this touristy area or whatever, maybe an airport, maybe two. And we'll also allow your two countries to also share the fishing lanes here as well. So you make a profit out of that by exporting your fish to, America, Germany, wherever. And in exchange, all you have to do is if anybody asks, be like, yeah, Finland exists. And
I
that's
mean
it.
that make like I get where you're coming from because I see a lot of on Instagram since I follow so much food stuff, um, European markets that have such an abundance of fish, even though it seems like it's cold and you just be doing like light fishing and stuff like that. I don't know like how they fish over there, but they always have cured fish. They do always have smoked,
Right.
dried, salted fish in mass.
Mhm.
And it's I mean, I know Russia has inland lakes that they can get that stuff from. All those countries probably have inland lakes that they can get enough to supply for. And who knows if the Instagram videos I see if that's even real fish. But it does seem
Right.
to like have an abundance of cured dried fish for storage when there's this outcry of China, Japan, and I don't know the other country, but it's a South American country, overfishing their waters and heading into other people's waters to fish, or maybe it's the Chinese going into the South American country's water to fish their water. But why are you fishing? Like, why are you overfishing so bad if you have this like pipeline of fish coming over to your area? That's supposedly disguised by a country that you guys all agreed to make sure that seem real, but isn't a real place. It's just dead land that you're planting a flag on when tourists show up.
Right.
Let's see if there's any. Hold on. Finish.
Like I said, I figured we'd do this one because like people know about it, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
easy.
really like, talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, nobody really talks about this one, so let's dive into it, see what we can get ourselves into here.
When I Google Finnish vloggers, it's just beautiful women in Finland showing their beautiful cabin life, slow life in
Okay,
Finland.
so now though,
What?
is it Finns or is it Sweden's though?
Well, I don't know
Because
because
look at get a look at the photos in Sweden, and it's like the
hold on,
same thing.
hold on here. Wait, I don't know if I can do this on YouTube without you getting taken down. I don't know if I can show other people's YouTube stuff without their permission, but it with a very
You want me
simple.
to?
Yeah, I just want to do it. But if you just go or in YouTube, Finnish vlogger, the first one, the very first one, is cabin life in I have no idea how to say that Finland, and then another one, silent cozy vlog. Another one, 5 days in Finland, the happiest country in the earth on earth. And then every other one is my days living alone diaries, pros and cons of living in Finland. And it all just seems like such living alone in Finland, travel diaries. It's mostly women, but they're all alone. Like this, a cozy, rainy autumn day at home in Finland. It looks like they put this person in this house. It doesn't look like a house somebody lives in. It just seems so like a slow life in Finland. This lady is she's putting strawberries in a bowl. She just put strawberries in a bowl and then started walking through the snow.
Mhm.
This is like the ultimate idea of cabin life, but it's almost like an IKEA ad. It's so like I'm like it's starting to seem weird now because why is it
Exactly.
all
The more you
women?
start digging into it, it's like, okay.
Why is it all
And then
just
when you
women? I mean,
exactly.
I know there's countries that they don't have enough men, like how South Korea was doing that thing where they were paying men to go there and marry a woman and become a citizen, or I don't know if it was a hoax on Instagram or if it was
Well,
anything.
Greenland was doing that, yeah.
Yeah, but I know there's countries that there's not enough men to like keep up with population, but this is insane to be a country where it seems like everyone's just living the ultimate Stardew Valley life, but you don't hear anything about it.
Right. And I mean, then at the same time, you gotta think like, okay, so are these Finnish women or are they sparrows working for the Russian government to make it seem like, oh, because like all all Russian secret agent women, aka sparrows, aren't your like low mill grade women. They all look like supermodels. So that was a good way
Yeah,
how to sell it. Make a video of like a supermodel, like you said, pouring some strawberries into a bowl and then walking out into the snow and being alone. And be like, oh, Finland's so beautiful, blah 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 blah. Like,
if you if
is
you
it?
if you Google, look, I'm not saying I'm the most handsome man on earth, but if you Google men from Finland, it does not match with the women from Finland. Except for that guy, he's handsome. But the sauna thing, it looks like they're all in sauna. Well, I guess if you Google Finnish men foolishly, like I did, they will be in saunas and they will be shirtless. I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
Why I did that. You got to work tomorrow?
No, I don't go back till next Wednesday.
Oh, that's nice. All right. What's the time marker? What's the time marker we're at?
What's that?
What time are we at on the podcast?
33 minutes.
33 minutes. All right, let's kill a little bit more time. Let's do a little bit more time. Um, you want to talk any more about Finland, or do you want to pivot into something else?
I mean, we can switch it up. I mean, like you were saying, they pretty much hit all the key points in the intro.
Yeah, well,
I probably should have
you
broken
hit
it
all the key
up a little
points.
bit better, but
You hit all the key points I had because I didn't know much about
so
the situation. But in other fun news, do you know that there is a live stream that you can go and let me back it up to make sure I get the country right. It's in the Netherlands, and they had to build a dam to control whatever they had to build a dam for. And there's a natural fish population that lives in the area, and the fish move freely throughout there until they did until they built the dam. So after a while,
makes sense.
the people who made the dam realized that the predators in the water would sit at the dam because the dam was scheduled to open at like certain times. So the predators started realizing what times that it would be closed and what times it would open. So they'd sit there and ambush the fish. So the whoever's in charge of the dam in the Netherlands came up with the idea. Oh, kids woke up.
Here, go take it back upstairs to go to bed. I'll bring Marley's up, okay? Don't wake her up. Go lay in your spot. Okay, go lay in your bed. Yep, go to bed, honey. Not on the stairs. Go to bed.
Hey, you better be nice to my girls.
Uh-huh. They got their Build-A-Bears, and we just bought them like the backpack carrier things today,
Yeah.
like the little guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Laura's on the stairs. She's like, I put it on my back now. I'm like, no, get off the stairs and do it.
They look like
All
the
right, now
peak
go to
kid.
bed. Yeah, they do.
But like I was saying, they had this problem with the predators ambushing these fish. You.
Yeah, predators ambushing the fish.
Ambushing the fish, so they didn't know how to figure it out, how to keep the predators from ambushing the fish. So they set up a live stream with a doorbell button, and it's right here. You watch the live stream at this doorbell, which in Dutch or the Netherlands means like view doorbell or something. And as soon as you see a fish here on the live stream, you ring the doorbell and a small gate will open so the fish can go through it and they won't get eaten. So I spend some time here while I'm doing stuff on my computer for my stuff, and I'll watch the live stream. And if a fish shows up, I ring the doorbell and he gets saved and he doesn't get eaten by a predator.
Interesting.
Fuck. Fuck. All right. Let's go, you bastard. Oh, that cheese that I sent you that I got, the Irish cheese.
Yeah, hold
Oh,
on 1 second.
all right.
Yes, the Irish cheese.
Yeah, the stuff I showed you that was wrapped in the wax of the Irish flag.
Hmm.
Amazing, amazing cheddar. All right, so let's finish this up with some. I had the fish doorbell. I obviously spend way too much time doing that. I thought that was not weird, but
All right.
um, with your, we'll finish it off with a little bit of game news. How have you been liking the new Resident Evil?
I like it. So I think I've only died 3 times so far in an 11-hour play period. So I'd say that's pretty good.
What
Um,
difficulty are you playing on?
so it doesn't give you a difficulty to start off with, actually. It gives you, so there's classic, modern, and then there's one more above that. Um, and that one's pretty much like if you're just in it for the story, you're not really in it for like the fighting stuff like that. I know I've played games like that before, and when you click that, there's like the enemies are almost like zero. Of course,
Yeah.
instead of there being like 3 or 4 in the hallway, there's like one dude. Um, so I played it on classic, is what I'm playing it on instead of the modern one, because if you play it on modern, um, the the ink cartridges are a lot easier to find. You'll be able to find more ammo easier. But if you
That's
click it
one
in
thing I
classic,
That's one thing I
so
did notice about you playing and the other guy that I watched for like 45 minutes. He would, you were shooting people, and he would do the headshots to knock them, and then he'd use the axe or the knife when they were down to kill them.
mhm.
Is that a different strategy or just conserving ammo?
Probably might be a different strategy. So I know with Leon, Leon has the axe. So like even if you don't, if as long as you don't draw on an enemy,
Hmm.
um, if you just click the fire button or the mouse button here, if you're a
Yeah.
PC, um, you'll swing the axe. But if you're playing as Grace, you don't have an axe. Sometimes you can get like a makeshift knife, like a shiv,
Uh,
and you can do it then. But with Grace, though, once your knife breaks, it breaks. With
okay.
Leon's axe, you'll see the durability meter will start to get smaller.
Yeah, I saw
But
that.
if you hit E, yeah, but if you hit E, he brings out sharpening stone, sharpens it, and it's like brand new.
Okay.
So
Do you see the because you're playing both perspectives in first person, right?
Yes.
I've noticed because I went back after I watched you play Leon in first person, and I watched a couple more streamers. I just Googled or on YouTube streamer view of um, third person Leon, first person Grace. And it is a lot easier not to get like grabbed and bitten in that cutscene when you're in third person from for Leon than if you're in first
Yeah.
person. So why would you play first
Yeah.
person? Is it immersion?
Pretty much emerging, yeah, because like, so whenever you're playing in, like, I made the I made the comment when I'm inside the building and I'm on the stairwell and there's the mutated one at the bottom of the steps that I have to go that way. If I was in third person, I could pan around like this where like the railing's at and I can see down that entire railing. But in first
Uh,
person, you can't do that.
So you just have to
Now, of course, if
whatever's down there.
yeah, yeah,
Ah,
so then I would actually have to go down to the stairs and turn so I could peek that corner in first person. And then I also have to know, okay, well, the woman who's singing walking down the hallway towards me or not. So that's why I pause so long because it's like I'm trying to listen in the headphones for distance. Does she sound further away or is she right there?
okay,
Because
so
if
that's
I'm
what I was
coming
get
down these steps and then she's right there, she's gonna get alerted. Plus the mutant one's gonna get alerted, and I'm basically screwed because I have like 2 rounds.
that's what I was gonna ask, but I was watching last night and I commented like the girl, the lady singing so scary, and then I noticed when she was singing, you'd stop and like look around. I didn't know if you were using that as like a proximity meter to like keep going through the map. So she is something to
Yeah,
avoid.
yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And every time where I'm like, I'm gonna, or like I open the door and you hear singing, and I'm like, nope, and I go somewhere else first. What my thought process is it's not another like adult singing, but it's that other girl that went missing. That's not
Uh, uh,
open that door, and she's gonna be like, hi. I'm just gonna be like, fuck. So
Oh God. Okay. Okay. Another thing, because I grew up. Well, I got my first PlayStation One, whatever, and my mom got me Resident Evil, and I was always too afraid to play it. I've never been a horror game person. That's why I like watching you, and it's so relaxing watching people play horror games for some reason for me. But when you're in the whatever, like in Resident Evil, it seems to be like you're confined to a certain amount of space that you're trying to figure out the puzzle to gain more access,
mm,
deeper, figure out what's going on. It's not like an open world situation, right?
yeah.
Okay. When you kill an enemy and it's down on the ground, is it dead or does it respawn after a certain amount of time? Or do new enemies respawn?
So no, so the way this one works, previous Resident Evils, that enemy would come back. But the way this one works is with that mutated virus.
That blows them up.
Once you can kill them, they're gonna lay down. When you go back in that room, their body's still gonna be there.
Mhm.
But what I've noticed through playing with the game is
They both
again, and they will either a mutate into that head
bubblehead thing.
gut looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll mutate into that, or you'll get close enough to them, and it's like they'll hurry up and bite you real quick.
Yeah.
Or on the
I
other
noticed.
hand, they're actually dead. So
See, I noticed that like those guys come after you the hardest they can, especially when you're trying to like aim them down with the shotgun and they like drop down to their head by their knees and run at you.
yeah.
Yeah. Who? So is okay? Is the big baby sloppy guy? Is that the Mister X for this game?
I want to say no because like he's in that hallway area, but
Oh,
he's
that's the big guy.
limited
That's still
to
Mister
that
X.
space. Are, so are you talking about the big naked person or are you talking about the woman who crawls through the vents and crap.
No, neither of them. The big, like, it's like a gigantic pudgy baby.
Yeah, I think he was the one that I used Leon's hand cannon on playing as Grace. I killed him, and then
Yeah,
I fought against him as Leon in that really small confined space, and he kept like charging after me and trying to climb up the ladder. Then he'd
yeah,
fall.
like
So I
food,
burned up.
mine.
Yeah, no, I want to say no. That's not like the Mister X because those are two separate ones. As I was reading one of the files, it says that they're two brothers,
Uh,
and Mister X would follow you throughout the map. As were
okay,
these guys,
so
they were confined to like those parts of the map, and they wouldn't venture out over.
okay, so it's a whole like cast of characters. Like Mr. X exists in the universe, but he might not be in this game. Like the guy I'm talking about is the gigantic buff guy with the top hat and the leather jacket.
Yeah, he looks like a detective from like Norm or
Yeah.
something,
So he
like black
exists
and
in
white.
the universe, but he's not in every game.
Yeah, so he would have been in like a previous. So like if you do like the timeline for everything with Raccoon City and Umbrella,
Mhm.
Mr. X is already dead. Like he already got dealt with previously.
From yeah, I watched you do the playthrough. So he's dead in like the story.
Yeah, so he'd be dead in the story.
All right.
And now we're gonna point in the story where see that this is where it gets a little bit confusing when you try to tie them in together. But given by how our main protagonist in this one, in the beginning, once you first start playing as Leon, how he shoots people with the dart and then they turn, but it's like really slow. It seems to
Yeah.
start out. That brings me back to like, okay, well, is he injecting them with something from like Resident Evil, 8 or like Biohazard, where
Mhm.
it's like, okay, but you're seeing a lot more in this one where, yeah, they come after you and try to kill you, but how, especially in the hotel, they're doing things that they used to do in their day
Yeah,
to
I
day,
don't. Yeah, they're
like
not
the
like.
cook building these cooking.
Yeah, they're like. And is this the first time that like you can hear the zombies interact with each other? Because I could swear you could hear when you were creeping up on them, you could hear them talking to each other.
Yeah, this will be the first one where it seems like they're talking to each other. Like Resident Evil 4, which was the horror, you could hear them
Mhm.
just like chanting or rambling on, not really having like a conversation. And then
Yeah,
in this one, you can actually hear like they're having conversations.
there's interaction.
Um,
Yeah,
so
I was
like I
wondering.
noticed with the big blob guy who you're talking about, the big fat baby looking dude. Um, when I took him in certain hallways and there were other zombies there, when
Mhm.
he comes through, like that guy just demolishes them. But it's like you can hear them saying like no, like or like what are you doing type of deal.
Oh yeah. um yeah, I didn't know if it was like just a coincidence that maybe like they were next to each other and their voice lines matched up or something that they were gonna say already. But I could have swore a couple times when you walked past or snuck past two of them, it seemed like they were kind of like communicating with each other.
Yeah, it definitely sounded like that. So I don't know if this is supposed to take place like pre Resident Evil Biohazard or if this is after or what. But so like where I'm at with Leon right now, back in Raccoon City, it mentions the special task force team that Chris Redfield is a
Mm.
part of in
Yeah.
Resident Evil 8 and 9. So it's like, okay, so is it before, is it after, or is it during the events of 8 and 9? Because it could
So wait,
also be that too.
there's no structured or timeline for the Resident Evil games?
There is, but I don't think with this one being the newest release, I don't think it's been added in yet. Like I said, I haven't looked it up. I mean, I can look it up right now, but it's more that like suspensefulness.
It says right here, Resident Evil chronological order on how to play Resident Evil and timeline. Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 3, when Jill was confined to the hospital. Go to Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Outbreak. File 1 and 2, the stories of the other survivors when Leon and Jill was facing zombies in Raccoon City. Oh, I didn't click on the whole thing, and I'm not going to, but it seems like it's one of those jumping around deals. Hold on. Wait, this is the movies. Hold on. Resident Evil game.
Well, I know it takes place this year because it takes place this year in October.
Okay. So for the
And it's
main
28
series.
years after the destruction.
Okay, so there's the timeline for like the main series of games, just like how they do Star Wars, all that kind of stuff, Dune, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, if you read the books. And throughout, there's like the main series, and then you have semi-main side games, you have side games, and then you have non-canon games. So I get what you're saying now about like the timeline balances.
Okay, so right here it says in the Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil 9 is set in the chronological order of the series. It follows the events of Resident Evil 8 Village, which takes place in the late 2010s. And then says the game is a prequel of the events of Resident Evil 7, focusing on the story of Ethan Winters, blah, 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 blah.
Was
So,
Village the one in Africa?
no, that's Resident Evil 6.
That one was terrifying. I played that one myself. I tried to get back into the game because I
That
like
is
I
true, Maple.
like I told you, I had it when I was like, I don't know, maybe I was 11 or 12, and I had PS1, and it was like still the side scroller, and you walk
Mhm.
through like the bus and stuff like that. And I was always too scared to play the game. So I left that one off then. And then when would the Resident Evil, the Africa one, would that have been on Xbox 360? I think so, right? Not like PS3 or Xbox. It would have been on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Because I remember I got Xbox 360 and my mom got me Gears of War. And then I saved up money to get the Resident Evil where they were like in the African town. And I played like 20 minutes of it and I just couldn't do it. I am not a horror game guy. That's why I watch you play them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not a horror game guy. Oh, JFK is talking about my mustache. Caterpillar. Yeah, it's a caterpillar. You wish you could mustache thick. Look how luscious that is. And I've been drinking fluid, so I'll have my comb with me. This can get a lot more luscious, young man. But in closing gaming news, because I'm gonna have to go spend some time with my wife, she made sourdough bread today and it actually turned out really good.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, she's done it before, but she went back home and then she got some really cool starter from France from her sister. So she's working on it now and it's been really good. But in
Mhm.
closing gaming news for the podcast, I think that we need to Is there any way that we could turn the Vet Duck and Banana Show into its own, not its own podcast channel? We'll keep the podcast on your channel, but if we want to do Vet Duck and Banana Gaming, should we do a Vet Duck and Banana Gaming page? Or do you think that'd just be too much?
No, I mean, um, you just have to have like you got to make like another email address pretty much, and then different YouTube account.
Well, then for the meantime, I think we should get some gaming time in, and we'll just post like the actual like full stream of the game to your channel and my channel, and then if we feel like
Yeah.
we need to, we'll make a clips channel or something like that. But we need to finish Sons of the Forest so we can get into the new Forest game that's coming out.
We do.
We really do. We need
Okay,
to
so I
know.
got right here. It says so. Biohazard, which is the first person video one. That takes place in 2017. Resident Evil Village, the one that we were talking about in the previous podcast with like the wolf guy. That
Yeah,
one
they
took
brought
place
out
in
the tan.
2020. Yeah, and the vampires. That one took place in 2021. And Resident Evil Requiem, the one that I'm doing now, it takes place 5 years after the events of Village in, well, this year, 2026.
All right. All right. So
So,
like
with
just
that
skip.
being said, where Biohazard and Village take place at, um, I don't know how they're trying to get with this Resident Evil, but if you look at the like campsites and stuff with that special task force being there, it could be after the events of Village. So I think what would be really cool is if like at the end of the game, like Leon gets like a phone call or something and it's Chris Redfield on the phone.
Mhm. Are you talking
But
about the end of the game that you're playing right now? Well,
like it would
I
link
mean,
the two.
well, I mean, I don't want to spoiler alert the game for anybody, so I won't say anything about it.
Yeah,
But
don't spoil anything because you
yeah,
know where I'm at in the games you've been
yeah,
watching.
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for
So,
anybody, so we'll just leave that where it's at.
but
But I don't know. I think that I don't know the Resident Evil timeline of games like you do, but there's obviously a reason why they do it this way. Well, and there you're gone. Dad life calls. What kind of chair is that? That's nice. What kind of chair
this
is
is, I honestly forgot the brand name,
I know
but I
the
got it.
symbol on it. Yeah, I know the symbol on it. I've seen the symbol.
It feels good. I like it. It's nice.
It looks like it's comfortable. Like it's wide and you can lay back in it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're leaning towards knowing what we're gonna do. We can't stay on one subject. We can't stay on one subject and commit like a whole hour long to it. So like I think that we should really like have a topic that we start with. We've researched it a little bit and then we spend maybe 45 minutes, 30 minutes on it, like really talking about something we researched. And then we just kind of have a hangout bullshit talk session about what's going on, what's in our mind to end it out.
Sounds good.
Just until we figure out a little bit of structure and stuff like that, and then we can actually get it on our computers with cameras, and we can do all the different like animations and like add stuff to the screen for people to see, so they're not googling what we're talking about without like telling them what we're looking at.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I've got my phone here, but then
Yeah.
literally right below is my laptop. So,
Oh, it's the same with me. I've got my phone here, and that's just my computer screen right here. So after we do
yeah.
this a couple more times, I think we dedicate this to at least an hour podcast. We spend the first 30 minutes about a subject that we agree upon and we tell people we're going to talk about. And then we just go into like what's going on, common events, stuff like that until we figure out like how to talk for a few hours about a subject.
Right. Sounds good to me.
I mean, this is only the second one. It was fun. We talked for an hour, so it'll only grow from here.
Yep.
But what are you doing the rest of the night? You going to bed?
Yeah, I got to try and get the babies to bed, mostly Lori.
Are
So,
you I can hear her.
I normally wait till I get her to bed to do this, but I figured I'd do it a little earlier tonight so I can actually get sleep. So, but,
Well, go be a
yeah.
dad, and we'll figure out the next podcast.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching and talk to you later.
Bye.